Hey everybody, welcome to the review of Is This a Mag Escape on YouTube. It is 10:02 p.m. I just finished watching Jordan Peele's Nope. Before I get into the details of this review, I want everyone to understand that I want to be as vague as possible when it comes to the overall intricacy of the story and spoilers in general, because I do believe it's very important to walk into this feature without having any type of prior detailed knowledge or being spoiled beforehand. So, having said that, as per usual, this review is going to be spoiler free. I've always been a fan of Jordan Peele. I loved Key and Peele. I believe they're fantastic comedians and quite underrated. One of the few comedians that are able to channel a certain type of energy within controversial topics that a lot of comedians won't touch these days. And I just find them to be quite remarkable. I loved Keanu. When Jordan Peele did Get Out, I loved Get Out. I thought that was a fantastic film, and I thought Us was brilliant as well. So he has been exhibiting a strong streak when it comes to releasing horror films. And what I do believe is so great about him is that he is more of a traditional filmmaker when it comes to the concept of horror. It's not so much horror for the sake of horror. It's not about the jump scares or the gore or the over the top violence. It is simply about the story and being able to build tension, and he does that remarkable. Uh, Nope is a different type of horror film because I listened to and read quite a few reviews from individuals who have watched the film, and I do believe to a certain extent, and while they are entitled to their opinion, just like I'm entitled to mine, I can to a certain degree understand what they're talking about. However, at the same time, for me, as someone who grew up watching horror from the 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, and even to recent times, I find myself believing that the reason why a lot of people don't seemingly appreciate what he has done, at least with this film in general, is they're so used to being having just carnage straight in your face. It's not so much they want the carnage, they want the violence, they want the blood, and they want to feel as if that they are experiencing exactly what those characters are in the moment, which is nothing wrong with that either. And because I mean, when you really think about it, that's the mark of a great film when you are able to lose yourself in that story and feel just the same amount of tension that you would with any other horror film. But what I really enjoyed what he did with Nope, and I will say this for the most part, I do believe to a certain extent the trailer showed too much. I think it would have been better if he had just left it to the imagination, because we all once we saw what it was, and this is really not a spoiler, but once we saw what it was, especially when they were looking up at the sky, you were able to more or less decipher exactly what was hidden within the mysteries of the sky. So it wasn't a secret. I just wish it would have been more. I think it would have been better if he had just simply left it to the imagination when it came to the trailers. That way, when the movie was released, if people were watching it, they would have been just as surprised at that moment with the revelation. So, but other than that, I will say I thought Nope uh, was a fantastic story. And one of the main reasons why I really did enjoy Nope, actually, because it reminded me so much of what I grew up watching, especially with my dad. Jordan Peele, by his own admission, is very much traditionalized within the old school cinematic feature when it comes to horror. And right from the onset, especially when I watched Get Out, Us, and even Nope, I recognized certain influences that he implemented within this story. For example, the Night Gallery, which is a Rod Serling show, which is an amazing anthology show. It was the American Horror Story of the '70s, and even is Rod Serling is probably one of the greatest geniuses when it comes to the macabre and the horror, and you just won't find anything better than this when it comes to true messing with the imagination of the mind. Then you have Duel, and you obviously see these references here and there within Nope, and you could definitely see the Steven Spielberg influence when it comes to horror in Jordan Peele's work. Uh, Black Christmas, which is another favorite horror film of mine, you definitely see more of those intricate influences within his brand of storytelling as well, and of course, the all-time classic, the 1978 Halloween. Uh, he recently was compared to be well, he was recently labeled as being the greatest horror film director of all time, and he flat out said, "You will not insult John Carpenter like that." So this is one of the greatest, if not the greatest, John Carpenter horror film in my opinion. Nope stars I can never pronounce his last name, so please forgive me if I butcher it. Daniel Kaluuya and Kiki Palmer, Stephen Young, and what it is this tale of strange events that's happening in California, and it all involves with this mysterious entity, this mysterious figure, this mysterious object in the sky that is causing all kinds of disruption within normal civilization. And they're attempting to find out exactly what is causing these disturbances. While they know what it is, but they want to be able to get proof. And I have to say, I thought that it was quite amazing what Jordan Peele was able to do, not only with the performances of Daniel Kaluuya, Kiki Palmer, and Stephen Young, how he was really immersed with the concept of building tension and using certain sound effects and using the cinematography in order to capture certain disturbances that were happening in the nighttime and in the daytime. It's very hard to put into words at times because I want to be able to, as I said, remain as vague as possible because I don't want anyone to go in knowing what details that are obviously online right now. I want people to be able to go in and see it for themselves. Uh, it reminded me a lot of a night gallery in a cinematic format. It reminded me a lot of just different stories. It's more or less, when you think about it, it reminded me more of a not well night gallery than creep show. You take those specific features and combine them, and that's what you get when you have Nope. There's different stories that are culminating to what is going to be the crescendo of the film, and each significant moment of the story ties in to whatever it is that is disturbing the very fabric of the foundation of life in general. And the performances, Daniel Kaluuya, please, and once again, please correct me if I mispronounce his name, but he is the more of the reserved, stoic, quiet, soft-spoken, stern individual who knows what he saw, and he's basically unaffected because he doesn't want to show any type of emotion as far as the panic that it causes. And you have Kiki Palmer, who is definitely the standout in the film. Every single critic that I have listened to and read about have sung her praises in this film, and yes, she is the absolute show stealer. She has that remarkable energy that is completely contagious, and she feeds off it with everyone else within this film, and they all just click. They click with one another, and it shows in the product. Stephen Young, he's a marvelous actor as well. And anyone who knows of Stephen Young, obviously he played Glenn on The Walking Dead, and anytime I see him, I still think Glenn. But he really showcased exactly how talented he is. Has this very innocent like quality with being this spectacle host, if you will, that has attempted to entertain the audience. And I will say this with Jordan Peele, how he's able to create tension, given that he was primarily known for comedy. He knows how to create tension. He knows how to create that sense of disturbance in the atmosphere and making you feel as if that the hairs on your neck are standing up. And there's this one moment in the film that you will know what I'm talking about when you watch it, but it is so creepy and intense that you find yourself saying the movie title out loud. Like once you see it, you're saying nope, nope. That is a hard nope. And there's a lot of humor in the film as well. It's more of a cathartic, awkward, tense humor, not so much of a ha 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 knee slapping. It is very much okay. When you are so startled and maybe the adrenaline is running, sometimes the only thing that you can do is laugh, and it's not a funny laugh. It's more of a laugh as if you're trying to calm yourself down. You're trying to more or less alleviate the horror that is about to transpire, and that's what this is with this film. And once again, I just think a lot of people, when they watch Get Out and Us, and maybe their expectations were a bit too high with this, and I will say also as well, maybe it's one of those type of stories and films that you need to watch more than once in order to be able to grasp exactly what is going on. Because I love anything that is primarily grounded within the confines of being able to not only frighten you on the physical scale, but in the mental as well. Because it makes you think exactly what might be lurking in the sky. It makes you think twice when you decide to look up sometimes. You wonder what is hiding in those clouds, what is hiding in the sky, what is hiding behind the night, what is hiding behind the stars. And that, to me, is one of the greatest questions at times, is to be able to understand the mysteries of the unknown. And he really captured that with this story, in my opinion. Um, is it the greatest horror film of all time? No. But for people, I have seen individuals, and of course it is their opinion, saying that they thought it was trash, or they didn't love it, or they didn't like it, or it was his worst film ever. And I respectfully disagree with them. Having said that, I thought Dope was a great it was a great story. It was a great feature, and it really gave you a true sense of how talented Jordan Peele is. There's everything within this film. You have your horror, you have your comedy, you have your drama, you have certain references from films that have inspired him, like I mentioned, Black Christmas, Duel, Jaws, Night Gallery, Halloween, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, which is also an amazing movie. You have not had a chance to watch that film, watch that. You will not be disappointed. Honestly, that is one of the greatest alien features of all time. And that's just, it doesn't come from someone who loves alien invasion type films. A Close Encounters of the Third Kind is a masterpiece. So if you get a chance to watch it, please watch that film. uh Once again, I have to say Nope is just perfect, with everything from the atmosphere, for the cinematography, the music, the tension, the performances. Everything about this film is exactly what I wanted when it comes to a science fiction horror like story. Having said that, I am going to give Nope a 2 thumbs up, a 10 out of 10. Again, this is simply my opinion. In the end, it is up to you exactly how as to what you thought about the film, and if you enjoyed it or not, and it's completely up to you. Let me know in the comment section what you thought about it, and let me know on my Facebook what you thought about it as well. Please leave a like if you want to, and spread the word to your friends and family regarding the content of my channel. And I hope you guys enjoyed it, and you'll be hearing from me again with my next review will be Super Pets, that is released next week. Hope you guys continue to stay healthy and stay well and be safe. Peace out.